long tapering. It's something a long tapering something, either neck or tail. It's not able to be shown.
Okay. Jocko looks at it and is like, that one not made by me. That one looked like my father's work.
Who is your father?
Oh, Draco Senior. He's been dead for a long time.
If you like, you can have it. It's not to remember him by, I guess.
I think it's meant for you.
How
Besides,
so?
I have my own collection. Well, you find it. I not find it. It's come to you, it's yours.
Fair enough.
Now, you are Ifrit, you are part fire elemental, yes? But what's with the scaly bits and the tail? That's not Ifrit stuff.
Tail? I kind of look down for the tail. My eyes just kind of go wide. Holy shit! I have a tail. That is most definitely new. Holy shit! Holy shit! All right, no. I can forget about the tail later. I can forget about it later.
You're not aware you have
Okay.
a
I'm
tail.
cool.
Just a second.
Okay. I'm cool. I have the tail. What?
Sorry, just realized that my Blizzard's Mister had fallen off. She needs that. So yeah, you were just speaking about your tail, and Draco raises an eyebrow in confusion at the fact that you do not realize you have a tail, but says nothing.
Sorry. First was like, I just kind of feel my face like, huh. I kind of like over the right eye. Huh. Yeah, that's definitely changed too. Yeah. Huh. Who needs a right eyebrow anyway? It's random gonna be full on dragon.
So you turning into different creature, and your reaction is, aha? You sure it's not some sort of demon curse? You look like demon.
Nah, I don't know. Growing up, I kind of I've always started growing and like ran in a little scales and bits like that for a while now. Probably
And
there's a bit of dragon in my ancestry somewhere.
bit of dragon in my ancestry too.
Hmm. You know, quite
Actually,
like
I tell Fib, lot of dragon in my ancestry.
yeah. I was about to say not nearly as much as yours.
Sort of 100%. Ah, me tell joke.
Hmm. Honestly, it's like one of the very few things like one of the very few things like definitely know about where I came from. Somehow, somewhere in my family line, my dad, my dad or my mom was a fire or elemental, one was a human. Somewhere, a dragon who was an ancestor who was a dragon.
You think that's
So,
virtue?
eh, honestly, it's all I have.
I think it's virtue. You
Hmm.
see, dragon's gone now, but little bit lives in you.
Yep.
Why is that?
I don't know. I don't know. Some dragon
Oh,
and long ago had the dragon long ago had saw a human side. I'll stick my dick in that and went ahead and did it.
dragons see value in something that's not dragon. Now dragon lives on in you.
Hmm.
Dragons see other side of the issue. Since fire elemental the hard to copulate with, I assume probably with human side.
Yeah. It's probably from what I've
Seems
heard
like
apparently.
building bridge is key to survival, would you not say?
Maybe.
What if your dragon parent, your dragon ancestor, no like your human ancestor? Maybe he burns her. No you?
Yeah.
Maybe if dragons built more bridges, there'd still be dragons, you think?
Maybe.
Seems to me that's what dragons need. Need to build bridges. Kobolds not so good at building bridges. Kobolds, not to speak ill of my kind, but kobolds, they have chip on shoulder. Kobolds have rough life. Not a lot of people like kobolds, so kobolds not like a lot of people. So
I resent that.
Well, you're not here. Draco is here. Draco speaks for kobold kind right now. Kobolds have lots of resentment. They've treated badly. Not saying resentment not deserved, you know? Humans not kind to kobolds. Orc not kind to kobolds. Goblin not kind to kobolds. Lots of things not kind to kobolds. Kobolds have reason to be angry. But, interesting thing. When kobolds angry, they lash out. When they lash out, humans think, oh, those kobolds, they are vermin, we kill kobolds. And kobolds die. So, kobolds are right to be angry, but what does angry get kobold in end? Dead kobolds is what gets kobolds.
Fair.
Just saying, bridges. Something to build, something to think about.
Building isn't exactly my forte.
Well, you know, that's interesting. I'm not always good at whittling. I start out, I just make irregular blocks, see? And he opens up a drawer and he has a couple of really shitty wooden figurines. Everyone starts not good at something. Everyone starts weak. We all start as baby. Kobolds, we start as eggs. You know how weak an egg is? You could kill an egg by stepping on it, and it can't do anything, can't even crawl out of the way. Everyone starts weak. It's whether you choose to get strong or to focus on your weakness. If you focus on your weakness, you stay weak forever. If you try to build a strength, you become strong. You know, we talk about humans, how humans don't act their virtue anymore. Humans have chosen to focus on their weakness. They see a world full of monsters and say, they need to go. They make us feel too small. And they destroy monsters, rather than see eye to eye with them. Whereas the humans who saw eye to eye, they made strength. They make you. People need to choose their strength, even though they start off with very little of it. You build on strength, you become better. You focus on weakness, you just stay weak.
I was weak once.
Everyone's weak. Everyone remains weak till they die, but over time they get stronger. They are less weak. Eventually our weakness will kill us all. But the more you build on strength, the longer that day comes. Maybe someday we all build strength so much weakness goes away. We have world nothing but strength, world with no death. Interesting thought. Thing to reach for, no?
Maybe. Honestly, most of the time, I just try and hope that the path I'm burning, think through everything is one that good people can go through.
Well, that's the thing about fire. Very good at burning, but you see my fire in the chimney there?
Yep.
I feed that fire. I keep that fire around. It burns a very long time. If I don't keep that fire in chimney, that fire would take whole cabin. Cabin go up in flames. Cabin gone. Then in a couple of hours, the wind, the snow blows out fire. Fire dead. But I keep that fire controlled in chimney, and I feed that fire, and that fire lasts way longer than if it ate entire cabin. It's not about putting fire out, it's about controlling what you burn.
I've been trying to do that. Honestly, I'm not too sure how successful I've been. I like to think I've been fairly successful.
Maybe.
You were there being would like to.
Maybe. I think go fight Pit Fiend alone, kick it in dick. That'd be more like fire that burned cabin than fire that burned in chimney.
Hmm.
Now maybe fire sits in chimney and thinks, ah, the stone around me, it keeps me down. It keeps me from being as big as I want to be. That would be a bad way to look at things for fire. Maybe fire should be thankful for chimney. These are just thoughts. Don't mind Draco.
Hmm.
Okay, let's pause on that one and move to another person. Um, anyone in particular want to go next, or do you mind me just jumping as I feel like it?
Just go where you want.
Okay. Lelia, you're walking with the Crow-King. Other than his outfit, the Crow-King is sort of a unimpressive individual, not particularly tall, a little bit scrawny, seems a little bit decrepit. Um, the kind of unassuming figure that when you meet them in the woods kind of makes you suspicious.
You don't say.
But he's walking along with you, he's made some idle banter, and eventually he asks you a question. Say, would you mind helping me with a problem?
What sort of problem by chance?
I guess it's a moral problem, like a dilemma. I haven't had anyone to talk about this thing with before, so. Would you mind? Could I impose?
Feel free, sir.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I'm in a bit of a quandary. I'm seeing two sides of a fight. And I'm not sure if I want to pick a side yet. Now, a good friend of mine tried to pick a fight with one of these sides. And they asked me to back them up, and I'm not sure if I want to get involved yet. Am I going too fast, or do you get the rough idea?
I assume.
So, one side of this fight, they want to stop something that would have wide-ranging effects. They want to stop a great force of change. The different people on that side, they've got different reasons for this, but they're trying to stop a change. And normally I'm against that. Except the other side. The other side's trying to undo a change that was made in the past. They're trying to make things like the way it once was. One doesn't want things to go forward. One wants things to go back.
Well, only one of those is a change then.
But both are taking us to places we've been before. And so, in my eyes, they're both kind of equally redundant.
Well, even
Neither
if
one of them is covering new ground. Neither one of them is trying to see new things, cause new situations. They're both just sort of stuck in one place they want us to be.
well, if they want to change the what, have a friend Yeah, I have a thing in mind I want to say, but I need to get it out right.
That's all right. Take your time.
Well, even if they did want to bring back the way the things were, the things that are currently going on now will react differently to what they were in the past. Seasons change, worlds changed.
So you're saying they're doomed to failure, but there's no way to go back.
What I'm saying is if they tried to bring back what was what would happen, a change different from what they expected would have happened. Technology has changed, the world has changed. If you bring something back, it will not react the same way as it did all those many years ago. So,
Hmm.
new, infinite possibilities, perhaps.
Perhaps. Perhaps. But we're the ones trying to keep things going in the direction they've been going.
And that is just a status quo. And sometimes a forest needs a shock for it to grow even higher. A slow-growing forest versus a fast-growing forest.
What if I told you the ones trying to make things go back the way they were would cause untold destruction by making that change?
Laylee is silent for a moment before saying, "Sometimes a fire is needed so the forest can grow. In order for seeds of a tree to break open, immense heat is needed."
So you think that at times mass destruction can be justified?
If it said destruction, yeah, if said destruction.
Whoopsie doodles.
Anyways, yes, like a wildfire is needed for a forest to grow. Sometimes, sometimes it needs a event so people understand that there is more to see. There's more to the world that they knew.
I love metaphor. It allows us to dance around awkward topics. Still, though, what if someone made a choice for you, or tried to make a choice for you? Wouldn't it be natural to rebel?
I'm just gonna say this out of character,
Mm-hmm.
not in roleplay session. The PS was just saying, basically hi, not trying to get involved into a fight.
I know. I know the intent.
Well, rebelling is natural, but sometimes if the bond you feel with that individual is strong, sometimes you make a change that you yourself might feel uncomfortable with, like I have did. Laylee talked solemnly.
I suppose I could try to see it through their perspective. Stacked up against rather outsized opponents, desperately wanting to see some justice done. I can see asking for my help in that situation. Any help that you can get is welcome.
Especially for an individual who's been alone for and only now experiencing the the feeling of someone to rely on.
To go back to an idea you brought up, the idea that trying to move back can actually result in moving forward. Because you can never truly move back. How might we make that intentional? How could we build something new while bringing back something old? I
Well,
think if my friend put it to me like that we're not just bringing something old back, but we're building something new out of it, I think I might be able to jump on board with their cause in that case. I'm a peculiar creature. I like to see new things. I'm not very fond of reruns, of retreads. I've never listened to a story more than once, because once you've heard it once, you've got the gist.
well,
But if we could
sometimes,
tell a new story with the old pieces, I think I might listen to that one.
well, sometimes when you get into a series of stories you really like, there is a character that appears once before and then is lost. But eventually, the writer decides to bring him back, and the change he has into that story changes it in a wildly different direction that isn't a rehash. The story has changed, but that character either has changed or has not. Because of presence, that story is changed because of his absence.
But will the writer just write the character as the same, or will they find something new to do with it?
If
I've
the
listened
writer,
to sequels before, and the worst sequels, the absolute worst sequels, are when the characters just do the same thing over and over again, because at that point, they're not really telling you a new story, they're just telling you the old one with slightly different names of the bad guys, and that's dull, isn't it?
well, it depends on the skill of the writer crafting the story, it would seem then, and who is
They'd
full
have
of the
to do
change.
something new. And wouldn't it be interesting to see some of the bad guys become good guys?
I would agree.
Change. Change is something I could get on board with. If they could find a way to bring back something old and still change things, I think I'd get on their side. Thank you. You have helped me through quite the dilemma. Let's see if we can find those friends of yours. Um. Well, I hope Scene gets on soon. I've got bits for him. Um. Let's go to Talia.
Yo.
Talia, you are finding a lantern light, following a lantern light. As you follow it, you see the snow is beginning to clear up a bit. You see shapes in the gloom of tall humanoid figures, but they are avoiding the lantern light. And they back away when they hear the voice of the person leading you singing.
Those figures. What are they?
Oh, they are desperate creatures. The most lost souls in these woods, and that is saying something. For many have gotten lost in the Beatrice Forest, particularly as it borders the Blightwood. They are desperate things that have committed unspeakable acts in the sake of survival, and now carry on without reason, only to continue lashing out in their desperation.
Is there some way we can help them?
They are far gone. the only aid they can have is release. The ultimate release of death. Sadly, there are few strong enough to give them this gift. But do not fear. They cower in my lantern's light, just as they will cower from your flames.
I look out, just watching them as we go. Are they living dead?
Of a sort. They fall under the purview of Gothcliff, god of the undead. They are things that live long past the point they should have died, and yet do not live in the true sense of living.
Then we may be able to help them soon.
How?
I don't fully understand it, but we're helping the Lord of the Undead with a personal project of his, or theirs, or I don't know how they like to be called. Something to help help the undead find their place.
How curious. And noble. Very few would look on those beasts with compassion. Your flame must burn brightly even when doused with your mortal flesh.
I don't know. This is I just got it.
Not the literal flame, the spark within. A spark within all living beings.
Oh, metaphor.
Yes, I apologize. I sometimes speak in the figurative. Did you know there are 7 princes on this island?
No, I don't think I did.
They are princes of my nation. 7 princes of immense power. And because their power is immense, many view them without pity. Do not see that my princes have shackles. All of my people have shackles. If you would save those poor wretched creatures out there, would you offer a similar mercy to my princes?
I guess I would have to.
And your spark may burn brighter than any other. I hope your allies are as benevolent.
Ha!
They act like they're not, but they are. They like the world to be to give them a birth to think they're well these cool dangerous characters, but they're a bunch of marshmallows, really.
They wear different faces to hide their vulnerable sides. I can relate. I hide my faces for a similar reason. Let's find them, shall we?
Let's.
Moving on. Airy. Your search through the cobblestone markers leads you to a graveyard. And standing at the graveyard is a person in an undertaker's tux with a top hat.
I guess hello.
Hello. Things have gone rather bad for your group, haven't they?
We weren't planning for bed sheets.
Yes, I wish I had a bit more control of this situation, but someone decided to exert her authority on the woods at the moment. You recognize me, don't you?
I recognize you.
Well, it seems you and your friends are all lost in the woods. It's not the best place to be.
No, it doesn't seem like it is. It's not a very friendly place, at the moment anyway.
Again, trying my best to help with that, but at the moment, she and I have equal tug over the creatures that dwell here, and I'm stretched elsewhere while she's focusing on this exact spot. The benefits of caring only for your own interests, I suppose.
I suppose so. So you didn't lead me here just to tell me about that.
I wanted to talk about the boy.
Did you now?
You've been doing a wonderful job with him. And I appreciate it. And I wanted you to know that I appreciate it. It's not often that a god thanks a mortal. But thanks really are owed. And it's not often that a mortal gets distressed over a creature like him. Is the subject too tender for you at the moment? Did I choose a bad time?
Just a little bit. I don't feel like I did a very good job back there.
Gothcliff nods. That wasn't your fault. I did like how you told off that paladin, though. You might not know this, but you actually managed to make him feel guilty for hurting the poor boy.
If he was a true paladin, he would anyway.
That is, I've never had a paladin of my own, so I wouldn't know. But it was satisfying. I can offer you a miracle right now, such as the extent of my gratitude. But I have to know which one you would prefer. I could bring Buddy back right now, right here, right next to you. Or Gothcliff extends their cane to you. I could give you another stick. To offer both would be stretching things a bit. You are not a cleric of mine, or a paladin, or inquisitor. You have not subscribed to my cause. in full. But I can offer at least one of these boons.
Buddy.
I was hoping you'd say that. At which point, Buddy materializes out of ectoplasm from one of the graves. It takes a while, but eventually ectoplasm solidifies into bones, then into muscles, then into skin and clothes. And Buddy stands, a little bit bewildered, but he's Buddy.
Aww.
There is an immediate hug from me, and I check him over, even though I just saw him materialize.
And he hugs back. And though Gothcliff, their face is obscured, you can feel their smile as they see this. You've already helped another little boy. There's one more. He is very, very far gone. If you can help him, I will offer you a marvelous boon in return.
Well, I was planning to do it anyway, so...
I know. And then Gothcliff raises their stick to the sky, and some of the clouds part, and snow stops in the path, and Gothcliff says, "Follow this path and you will reach a cabin. An ally of mine is trying to lead some of your other friends there. If all goes well, you should be reunited. And if it doesn't, at the very least you have Buddy at your side."
Thank you.
No. Thank you. You have been a marvelous help. And Gothcliff departs.
Aww.
I guess we follow this path, buddy.
Tig, you're eating soup.
Tig is not here.
Pretty-
What kind of soup? Roll for chicken noodle.
It's mostly roots and tubers. It's not the best soup.
I think Raves went to go put up his chickens.
Ah, shit, you're right. Tazra.
Yo.
You are heading as best you can to the mountains. It's terrible. You're not even sure you're going in the right direction. You hear the howling all around you. But then a part of the sky clears up, and you walk towards it, and you find that miraculously there is just this long stretching trail leading from where you are to the mountains, where the clouds are clear. And there is no snow falling.
This storm is definitely not natural, but I'll not say no to a boon.
Make a
I'm
perception
definitely
check.
going to follow it. Okay.
Yeah, excellent. Make a perception check, and you don't have the penalty at the moment.
Okay. Okay. I got a 26.
Nice. You hear the stomping of boots on snow, and when you turn around, you see an extremely tall humanoid. It's a little bit gloomy behind you, with a furry-headed human. Oh, it's Aerie. It's the Catwoman. And
You have no idea how good it is to see you. And this is the large one that likes goats, isn't it? I thought he died.
You got better.
You're not there!
Neither are you!
Buddy looks at Tazra and at Aerie. He's still new to Tazra.
I think Scott's a BRB or something.
I let Moondrop take the lead because I already know he likes Moondrop.
Nice. Buddy pets Moondrop, and then Moondrop leads you guys along the path.
All right.
Sorry,
you
I
just met-
like dropped
Okay,
off for a
They
we-
ran
second.
into each other.
Basically, you and Tazra cross paths.
Hi.
Hello.
I couldn't
It
hear
is very
anything.
good to see you again, friend.
It's good to see anybody in these woods. I think there's something a lot bigger than
I'm
just some
honestly
Wendigos.
I am honestly very surprised to see your big friend again. I'm glad that he is okay.
So am I. I think you should have an explanation for that.
Perhaps, but not right now. We need to figure out what the hell is going on here. We can dwell on all sorts of magical weirdness later.
Seen back?
Yeah, I was told to follow this path. So, shall we?
Sounds good to me. We're off to see the wizard.
Excellent.
Wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Sorceress, actually.
Right.
Excellent. And off you guys go. I'm going to cut to the cabin. Draco has gone to an altar in a small room in his cabin. Is lighting some incense, providing an offering. It's an altar of Gotchmore. Ayara, you interested in this at all, or are you just going to ignore him as he does praying?
Would it be alright if I joined you?
You religious?
Not really, but at this, honestly, for all I've seen, now's as good a time as any to start.
Is this your first time playing to Our Lady in Heaven?
No, I've done it once. I've done it in a couple times before.
Well, come, sit.
I do so.
What do you think of Gotchmore, how she take care of her people?
I think I would say thing is, I've seen dragons here. They're not, and let's just say they're not too happy about what they've fallen to.
Yes,
And-
dragons fall pretty far from grace.
Honestly, I can see where they're coming from when they say that they know that they don't really aren't that fond of Gotchmore anymore. I can see why, but I can also see why she didn't help. She can't. Without dragons, primary worshippers, not at a very low in power compared to other gods.
Ah, misconception. Gotchmore is not ascended god. Gotchmore not mortal who need worship to retain godhood. Gotchmore, she born goddess. Or rather, she born as asexual god who was split into goddess and god. Gotchmore does not need worship to have power. Gotchmore has power by divine mandate.
It does actually answer a lot of questions. It does answer a lot of questions I had with other types of gods, the other gods.
Ah, yes. There are 4 pantheons. You know these?
Yeah.
There is eldest pantheon, the 3 gods who create the universe.
Yeah.
There is second pantheon, children of those gods, learned gods. Third pantheon, children of the learned gods, mortals. They were raised up by the belief of their other mortals that more gods were needed, more things had to be embodied. And their fourth pantheon. See, learned gods and ascended gods, they have fight. Ascended gods think, we
Yeah.
were chosen, you were made gods.
Entropic
We were chosen.
gods.
And they fight. The ascended gods, they say, we were chosen by people. We represent them better than you. So we destroy you and become only gods. And that's when the primordial gods, the eldest gods, they make the entropic gods, the fourth pantheon.
It's like
Gods
a
whose job is to say, play nice or game ends. It's not that Gotchmore lacks power. It's that Gotchmore has to play nice or game ends. Gotchmore make open war on Ascended God. Game ends. Right now, Pantheon's having another fight, I think. That's why things getting so strange. They disagree on how world should go. They disagree too violently, the Tropic gods come and they end the game.
It might already be coming.
Yes. You ever look at night sky? Stars are going out.
Yeah, I heard you talking about it with Tasra.
It is a bad sign. Stars going out.
I've had nightmares about it too. The Hell Star. It's coming.
Bad things are coming. Gods are discontent.
And some of the old ones are coming back.
I think gods need to learn lessons. I think gods need to learn to build bridges. Gods build bridges. Old ones would not have to send entropic gods. Entropic gods would not have to send Hellstar. Stars go back on. World continues. Right now, God's making wildfire. They need to be making nice chimney fire instead.
Sometimes you need a wildfire to let new things grow again.
True.
Sometimes
True.
a little fire is needed, like you said.
True. We need to start a little fire. Make a sign. I think if I was working for God, that would be my goal. Not just to help God out, but to build bridge with other gods. Maybe that's what gods want, but they're not getting. Maybe all they've got are bridge burners. Maybe they need some bridge builders.
Honestly, not really too sure if I could really be a good bridge builder. Like I basically spent my entire life burning things, making sure that they don't tearing half the world apart, looking for someone.
But then wouldn't you have experience seeing what burning bridges does? Wouldn't you, more than anybody, know the consequence of life filled with wanton destruction? Isn't that something you can bring to the conversation? If a person goes to build bridge but knows not of the struggle of others, will anyone listen to them?
True.
Maybe a life of destruction has taught you lesson. Maybe you can teach that lesson to other people.
Maybe.
Maybe that's why you burn so many bridges, so that you can learn the value of building. Maybe that's a strength. Hiding is a weakness. I know, it's just fought the Dracos.
A lot of people, a lot of the time. Believe me, believe me, Draco. I spent a lot of my training in mage colleges among people said to be the smartest of the smart. what you said, it's honest, and honestly, would honestly leave most of them scratching their heads in wonder. Yeah, boy with words.
You are too kind. I think if I were Gotchmore, maybe a reason I did not help dragons is because dragons burnt too many bridges. Maybe dragons needed a lesson in humility. Maybe I was ashamed I did not raise my kids better. Maybe if Gotchmore could do it again, Gotchmore would try to make her children understand the value of bridges.